You clicked on this video because you're bored. Maybe you opened YouTube just out of habit. After scrolling through your feed for a few minutes, you couldn't find anything to watch. You wanted to give this video a chance, thinking maybe it would entertain you. That's fine, we've all been there. But think about it this way. That feeling I just mentioned, that restless, nothing to do feeling, is one of the oldest emotions in human history. Ancient humans were bored just like you. And they didn't have YouTube, TV, or Snapchat to pass the time. Yeah, they didn't even have solitaire card games to play by themselves. So, what did these ancient people do to get rid of this boredom? The answer to this question is way weirder, way more interesting, and honestly a lot more impressive than you'd expect. Let's start with something your teachers never told you at school. Boredom is not a modern invention. Most people think they're bored because of the dopamine damage caused by social media. But that's not exactly true. We all picture ancient humans running away from predators, hunting, or trying to survive in the wild. And because of that, we assume they didn't have time to be bored. But we are very wrong about that. In fact, researchers have claimed that modern hunter-gatherer groups, meaning people who still live an ancient lifestyle, actually have a ton of free time. These people have way more free time than you think. A study published in the journal Nature Human Behavior in 2017 revealed that hunter-gatherers only work an average of 4 to 6 hours a day. Yes, just 4 to 6 hours. So, what do these people do with the rest of their day? Nothing. Yes, literally nothing. I mean, they don't have a boss, and they don't have notifications to check. And when you can't find an activity to fill it, time eventually turns into boredom. So the question isn't whether ancient humans got bored, but how they spent their time when they were bored. The first answer is, of course, the one that comes to everyone's mind: talking. But this wasn't talking through texting or video calls. It was real conversation, sitting around a fire face to face, looking at each other. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied the Juhansi Bushmen of the Kalahari Desert for years. These people are one of the last groups on Earth living close to the lifestyle of ancient humans. She spent years patiently documenting their conversations, and what she found was truly interesting. More than 80% of their daytime conversations were just short, task-oriented talks, like who's going to hunt where, what game is around, or who owes what to whom. But the conversations they had at night were very different from the daytime ones. Their nighttime conversations were mostly story-driven. Stories told by people coming from faraway places. Adventures, myths about how the world was created. Or jokes to make each other laugh, just like you do with your friends. So, when they were bored, they told stories. And these stories weren't just for entertainment. They were passing information to one another. They were strengthening their social bonds and transferring their culture from generation to generation. In a way, they were telling each other the kind of stories that we watch on Netflix before going to bed. But telling stories wasn't the only thing they did. Ancient humans also made music. Of course, not the kind of music you know. I'm generally talking about sounds they made by hitting rocks together. Unless, of course, there were musical geniuses like Mozart among them. But what I'm about to say will surprise you a lot, because a bone flute was found during excavations in Slovenia. So, it turns out there were geniuses like Mozart among them. It is estimated to be around 60,000 years old. So, back when Homo sapiens hadn't even fully settled in Europe yet, someone stepped up and invented a musical instrument. Why though? Because they were just bored. While lost in thought, they decided to make a flute out of nowhere, for reasons we don't know. Because that feeling of boredom, the urge to create something, to express something, is one of the most fundamental human drives. So, there were people among the ancient humans who discovered how to become artists just from being bored. Well, what about games? Yes, ancient humans played games too, just like you might be playing a game right now while watching this video. Archaeologists have found simple gaming tools made of pieces of wood and stones in ancient settlements all over the world. They came across many game objects like dice-like items, primitive chessboards, and target-throwing games. The game Senet, found in ancient Egypt, dates back 5,000 years. And archaeologists think this was just a continuation of even older games. So, as you can see, humans have always played games throughout history. And it wasn't just for fun. Games has helped ancient humans develop strategies and strengthen their social bonds. Especially, it created a safe environment for competition among themselves. So, are you bored? Invent a game. But here's the most interesting part of everything I've told you. Researchers discovered something else ancient humans did in their free time. And this thing will both surprise you and feel very familiar. Maybe just like what you're doing right now. Doing nothing. They deliberately, meaning on purpose, did absolutely nothing, just nothing. In the modern world, we call this laziness, and we feel ashamed of it. If we aren't doing something, we feel guilty. We look at our phones and scroll through TikTok or YouTube a bit. We try to keep our brains busy, but ancient humans didn't do it that way. They just sat there. They napped during the day, looked at the sky, and thought. And neuroscientists now understand why this is so important. The brain has a system called the default mode network. This system only activates when you are doing absolutely nothing. And when this system is active, your brain consolidates your memory, solves your problems, and creates new creative connections. In other words, boredom is actually your brain's way of recharging. But we have forgotten this now. We can't even go to the bathroom without taking our phones. Even when sitting in a place with a beautiful view, we start scrolling on our phones after 15 minutes max. Now think about this. Ancient humans didn't have screens. They had no notifications, no videos to watch. When they got bored, they told stories and created a culture. They made music and invented art. They played games and developed strategies. And sometimes they just sat there and thought and dreamed. What do we do when we get bored? We immediately grab our phones. And after scrolling through dozens of videos, we still feel bored. Because that feeling didn't go away. It was just postponed. Because scrolling has completely wrecked our dopamine system. Maybe ancient humans weren't trying to get rid of boredom. They were allowing it to happen. And maybe that's why their stories are still alive after thousands of years. We still play their music and play their games. Even 60,000 years later, your ancestors and mine sat in a cave. They got bored and made a flute out of a bone. As for me, I prepared this video for you. So, what are you going to do? Write your interesting ideas in the comments below, because I'm really curious to see what kind of ideas you'll come up with. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.